Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is Mother Smolderweb, and Mother Smolderweb is a spider located in the lower Blackrock Spire. It's a bit of a tongue twister. And she's notable for the Smolderweb hatchling, which now you just get from getting the Smolderweb egg, and it teaches you how to summon it, but back in the day you had to get the carrier, and then you kept it in your inventory, and it was kind of annoying. But that's not all. She's also mainly known for the Mother's Milk quest, which back in the day was quite the quest. So if you don't know, it was a quest where you had to go to this boss and poison yourself and then go back to the quest giver who was like outside Blackrock Mountain, and then he would quote milk you of the poison, and that was the quest. And pretty much nobody liked doing it. It was just really annoying. It was a dumb mechanic, and people memed it. They share it all over. Like when you're in a battleground and you haven't done it, they'll just share that quest because they know you haven't completed it. And then after the guy milks the poison out of you, he just uses it for making beer. Because he's like, what did you think I was going to do? Make poison or something? But either way, Mother Smolderweb's actually a really cool spider. And if you read the dungeon journal entry, it says centuries ago, the Dark Iron Dwarves dug into the lair of Mother Smolderweb, releasing the massive arachnid into the spire's halls. Her brood has continued to swell in number since that time, so much so that even Blackhand's forces fear traveling through Smolderweb's domain. So pretty much the dwarves were digging, and then they're like, oh shit, we went too far, and then she's just there now. But overall, a pretty cool spider, and I think a pretty well-known spider, and that's why Mother Smolderweb is number 10. 9. Number 9 is Bezaleth, and Bezaleth is an orange-brown tarantula found in the Stone Talon Mountains. And if you've played Classic WoW at all, you've probably come across Bezaleth once or twice, because I've seen quite a few people die to Bezaleth in the death log. But if you're walking down the Stone Talon path, you'll see a sign that says like wanted or danger, there's a spider here, and you click it, and then there's an elite spider up in this spider area with all the spider webs and everything all over, and it's Bezaleth. And the reason for that sign is Magrin Earthbinder was once attacked by Bezaleth, but he escaped and placed a bounty on the spider. Outside of that, there's really no other lore. I mean, it's just some Taran got attacked and was like, kill that spider, it tried to kill me. That's pretty much it. But I think Bezaleth is cool. I love the area that Bezaleth's actually in with all the down trees and the spider webs all over and covering everything. I think it's pretty neat, and so that's why Bezaleth is number 9. 8. Number 8 are the green tarantula spiders, and these are the spiders that you see all over the place in the lower levels, and I think because of that, they're one of the most well-known spiders in World of Warcraft. I mean, in Hillsbred, you see them where you have to do the Spider Ichor quest, which I've done quite a bit playing classic hardcore WoW at this point. There's in Teldrassil, they have them, in Stone Talon. I mean, they're really all over. And I included the old model and the new model. So I actually think the new model looks pretty cool, but I like the old model just for a little bit of nostalgia in there. But I like including a lot of generic creatures when I do these creature lists because, they deserve love too. A lot of people are like, the named ones, right? And the named ones are pretty cool for creatures, but a lot of times I think it's cool to appreciate a lot of the just generic creatures in World of Warcraft, because a lot of people run into the generic creatures more than they run into the named creatures. And so I think there is some sort of nostalgia factor with it. And that's kind of what Pointless Top 10 is all about, giving things that wouldn't normally be in the spotlight a little time to shine. And that's why the green tarantula spiders are number 8. 7. Number 7 is Beshal, and Beshal is a tarantula located in a cave near Fallhaven in Drustvar. If you go into its cave, there is an obviously safe chest in there. That's literally what it's called. And if you open it, Beshal spawns and starts attacking you. However, that's not the only reason I put this on the list. The name Beshal is actually an anagram of Shelob, which is the monstrous spider from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. So an actual Lord of the Rings reference here in World of Warcraft, which is always appreciated. Aside from that, Beshal is just a really big tarantula. But I like their cave a lot. I like the location of the cave. It's very aesthetically pleasing. And I thought I'd take this moment to share a little spider fact, which is bola spiders use a long line of silk ended with a spot of sticky glue, swinging it at nearby moths to catch them, much like a fishing line. So there's actually a spider that can go fishing, but I guess it's not fishing. It's more like mothing. So there you go. Spiders go mothing. And that's why Beshal is number 7. 6. Number 6 are Bethelak and her lava spiders. Now, Bethelak is the fire spider boss of the Firelands, and if you read her background in the adventure guide, it says, matriarch of the Cinderweb brood, Bethelak and her merciless offspring sate their appetites by sucking the magma and fire from the corpses of elementals. To provide her broodlings with added sustenance, Bethelak has woven a network of incendiary webs throughout her web to trap unsuspecting prey. Her fiery webs reach far overhead, daring her adversaries to simultaneously face their fears of both spiders and heights. Only by taking hold of her webs and climbing into her domain yourself will you find a way to thwart her evil designs. But in the grand scheme of things here, I think it's just awesome that she sucks the magma and fire from the corpses of elementals. So she's literally just a magma fire spider because she sucks it from the dead elemental. Like, that shit's crazy to me. That's super metal. I also relate this boss to Hotel Hell with Gordon Ramsay. I don't know why. I watched one episode, and that was the only episode I watched. It just so happened to be while I was farming mounts in Firelands, but now I always think of Firelands, and I pair it with Gordon Ramsay, which is kind of fitting, to be honest. But that's why Bethelak is number 6. 5. Number 5 are the Deathweb spiders, and these are a special breed of spiders living in Deathweb Hollow in Talador. And the reason these spiders are so crazy is because their venom twists the very form of their victims. So in Warlords of Draenor, the Shadow Council, which is a group of mortal warlocks that serve the demons of the Burning Legion, became privy to this information and dispatched its warlocks to their lair to infuse these spiders with fel energy so that their venom now turned creatures into demonic minions, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how that works. They're just like, what if we just give them a little fel energy and then, their victims just become demonic minions? Like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it's crazy magic and, I'm acting like fel energy is this realistic thing. Like, I don't know. And the Draenei Tresia became one of their victims, being transformed into a Manari Eridar before being struck down by her former comrade. But I do really like the way these spiders look. They remind me of Infernals, but like, put over a spider in a way, which I mean makes sense. They're injected with fel energy, but I love the green in their legs, and then they just have the glowing green eyes, and then their area is really cool too with all the cobwebs, and it reminds me of Stone Talon a bit, but almost like upgraded because it's Warlords of Draenor and the graphics got better. But I think these are really cool spiders, and that's why the Deathweb spiders are number 5. 4. Number 4 are the Rivenwood Widow spiders, and these are pretty much just big black widow spiders that are in the Howling Fjord. And I don't know, I love the aesthetic of not just the area they're in, but just everything about this. So you have the Riven Widow cocoons, which are just a bunch of random mobs and creatures wiggling around in cocoons, which is always kind of creepy. You got to break them out for the quest. Just the way they walk around just nonchalantly, like, all right, just looking for our next prey. And then I think the area itself, right, with the purple mist, and you have the cobwebs on the trees, which we've had before, but I think the purple sky with the mist and everything and the pine trees in the fjord really kind of sells this for me. Like, I always loved questing here and always felt a little creepy because of that aspect to it, like the fog and the mist all around, and you've got the mountains back there, and I don't know, I really enjoy everything about these spiders. But it's not like they're a named spider or something, right? But like I mentioned earlier in the video, that's what Pointless Top 10's all about, and sometimes something that makes the list is the sum of all its parts, and that's why the Rivenwood spiders are number 4. 3. Number 3 is Maexna, and Maexna, as you probably know, is the third boss of the Arachnid Quarter in Naxxramas. Maexna is a massive spider taken from the depths of Northrend's mountains many ages ago. She was captured with the Dread Citadel Naxxramas, where she gives birth to her brood. She feasts on those foolish enough to enter the necropolis, feeding her spawn with their corpses and producing spider after spider that Kel'Thuzad uses to his own foul ends. And I really put Maexna on this list because she's probably one of the spiders I think of most when I think of spider bosses in World of Warcraft. Like, I always just think of fighting Maexna on that big web floor, which I think is really cool. Fighting on the web is always fun, and then she webs someone up and you got to go break them out of the web. Maexna is also just really cool looking to me. She's got the red and the yellow and the black all together. I think it's a nice combination. And I realize that a lot of times I'm just like, I think this thing looks cool, so that's why I put it on the list. But really, I mean, that's like any list, right? You're like, I think this thing's cool. So I may repeat myself numerous times, but I don't know, I got nothing. That's why Mayexna is number 3. Ooh. Number 2 are the ice spiders in the ice spider cave in Dragonflight. And this is one that I've seen shown around all over the internet, and people are like, oh god, I do not want to go into this cave ever. But I remember when I was thinking of this list, I was like, I need to put this on the list because I think it's so cool looking. Unless you're deathly afraid of spiders, in which case you're probably freaking out. But the main point of this cave is actually that Alia Sunsore, which is this blood elf girl, tries to recover an artifact so that it doesn't fall into the Sundered Flame's hands, but then she ends up getting corrupted by the artifact, and then you have to destroy it, and you end up killing her. But the book then like frees all these souls, so the artifact's like holding souls, and they're all like, yeah, we're free after you destroy it. So that's the main quest, summed up very poorly, but this cave is just truly one of the craziest spider areas in World of Warcraft at this point. But I just love the aesthetic of this place, man. Like, the spiders themselves look kind of cool. They've got, like, ice bone limbs or whatever, and they're hanging by their whatever it's called, spider web things that are gyrating. They're moving. I don't know what they're doing. I had to put this on the list, and I was like, you know what? This deserves to be pretty high up on the list, and that's why it's number 2. And number 1 is Wowcrendor. And not only is the name amazing, because it's like, you know, Terracar Forest and Tarantula mixed together, right? But Wowcrendor is a giant spider found at the southern part of Netherweb Ridge in Terracar Forest. Its size is comparable to Mayexna from Naxxramas. So this is literally a raid boss sized spider just chilling in a zone, you know? And obviously it is part of a quest where Vindicator Halen wants Wowcrendor dead. But man, it is creepy when you're going through this zone and then all of a sudden you just come across this massive tarantula. But I always remember doing the quest here where you had to free the people from the cocoons, kind of like the Rivenwood spider one. But I guess this happened in Burn Crusade, which was before the Rivenwood ones. And when I was reading the Wowhead comments on this, there is somebody that said the mob is a tip of the hat to EverQuest. There was a huge desert spider named Terrorantula that was the bane of Lobies when the game first came out. So this could be a little bit of a mix of that, right? Terrorantula, you know, maybe just a fun way to blend the zone name in with the spider and at the same time give a little tip of the hat to EverQuest, maybe. And funnily enough, you can actually tame Wowcrendor, but it becomes a very small spider, so you just have a mini version as a pet. But to me, this is just number 1 because of the shock factor as well, right? It's just you're flying around, you're walking around, and then all of a sudden a giant-ass spider just renders in out of nowhere, and you're just like, whoa! And so that's why Wowcrendor is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want to check out some more Pointless Top 10s, we just had Taverns last week to celebrate Brewfest, so if you want to check that one out, it'll be there. Or you can check out Skeletons if you're in more of a Halloween mood after watching this one. Also, if you want to help support the channel, you can check out patreon.com/Crendor or become a channel member. Okay? Okay. See ya.